It's a great day at the Academy of Scholars. Welcome to another episode of Scholarly Speaking Live with Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson, the Director of Student Success at the Academy of Scholars. I am Benny Crane Jr., the Assistant Director of Student Success. Today's topic will discuss helping your child deal with failure.
Thank you for joining us for today's live session. No matter where you're joining us from, whether you're at work or at home, we pray that you're having a great AOS day and hope that you can visit us here on campus someday soon. So last week we talked about how to build your child's self-esteem. This week we're exploring what to do when your child fails. But before we get started, Benny, where can our viewers watch today's live session once it's over?
Everything from this show will end up on our website, academyofscholars.com, including both the audio and video versions. Now, if you prefer watching us each week, you can find the video version on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you're looking for something entertaining to listen to on your drive to work, you can download the audio versions anywhere you download your favorite podcast. Now, shout out to all the people who are joining us live today, and to those who follow us on our social media platforms. We appreciate you joining us. Now, do us a favor. Tell your friends we're on. All you have to do is hit that share button right there. Comment and tell us about how your child handles setbacks, disappointments, or failures. Are they resilient and bounce back quickly? Or do they need a pick-me-up from mom or dad? Tell us. We want to know.
So Benny, when I think about what parents should do when children fail, I think about one of the proudest moments we all have as parents, when we see our children take their first steps.
Yes.
I can recall that moment vividly for both of my children. But prior to my children taking their steps and being successful, they attempted to take their first steps and failed.
Yes.
I remember just watching and cheering both kids on during the stage, only to watch them fall on their behinds over and over and over. But guess what, Benny?
What?
They never stopped trying.
Never.
And eventually, their first steps turned into a walk. Our proudest moment.
Yeah.
Now, what if every time my children attempted to take a step, I swooped in and picked them up, not allowing them to fall? I feel like a child taking their first step and falling, and their parents allowing them to fall, cheering them on to keep trying, is a metaphor for what parents should do when children fail.
Yeah.
And as parents, I know it's tempting to want to shield your child from failure. However, letting children fail and learn from their mistakes helps build resilience. And it's essential to raising a confident, capable, happy, and successful adult.
Okay, Stacy.
What's wrong?
Confessional time.
Okay.
I did run around after my children when they were learning to walk so they wouldn't fall. Now, I didn't swoop in every time they attempted to take a step. I let them take all the steps.
For both kids, 1 and 2?
Both of them.
Oh, wow.
I just swooped in to catch them before they hit the ground. I looked at it as an investment in my own sanity. If they don't get hurt, they don't cry, and I don't see myself as a bad parent.
Wow.
Now, thank God for my wife who could let the kids fall. Now, the reason this is such a good topic, Stacy, is I'm sure parents who are out there like me, who are trying to pave a smooth road for their children, aren't doing it because we want it to be a detriment to our children. They're doing it so their children won't get hurt or feel hurt.
Right.
Life is going to be hard enough as it is, so we want them to avoid hurt anywhere they can. It's just not intuitive for us to say, my child is going to be so much better 15 years from now if I don't let him hit the ground today. So for all those parents out there who are like I was, today is for you.
So Benny, you are a helicopter parent.
I know.
Okay, we've all heard of helicopter parents, right? Those parents who hover over their children, never letting them out of their sight.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, well, at least you weren't a lawnmower parent or a bulldozer parent, right? These are parents who mow down or bulldoze every obstacle or difficulty their children may have to face. And while it's completely natural for parents to be protective of their children, like you said, Benny, parents who do not allow their children to fail or face disappointment are causing more harm than help.
Yes.
They're ultimately lowering their children's self-esteem and setting them up for more difficulty in the future. Let me explain why that is. Failure is an essential component of a child's development. When children fail, they're building social and emotional skills and qualities that will last a lifetime. Skills and qualities such as persistence, resilience, positive self-image, self-confidence, self-control, problem solving, self-sufficiency, focus, and patience. I like to use an acronym for FAIL. First attempt in learning. You can't learn if you don't fail.
First attempt in learning. That's a great one. Stacy, not many people know this about me, but when I was young, I did bike racing one summer through a program at the Boys Club.
Okay.
It was at the Dick Lane Velodrome in East Point in Southwest Atlanta. Now, if you don't know what a velodrome is, it's just a bicycle track that's slanted, and at the curves of the track, the embankments are huge. Now, I'm 12 years old, and one of the first things they tell you is, if you slow down on those embankments, you're going to fall. But here's the second thing they tell you. Everybody is probably going to fall, and when you do, you may never fall again. Well, sure enough, early on, I did not hit that embankment fast enough, and I came sliding down, leaving all the skin on my knees behind.
Ouch.
But it turns out they were right. After you come sliding down that embankment one time for not pedaling through it fast enough, you won't ever do that again. So failure is oftentimes the best teacher.
Well, it definitely was the best teacher for you.
Yes.
So now that we've realized that failure is good and it's a necessary step on the path to learning, here are 6 ways to teach your child that failure is a good thing.
Yes. Now, for those of you who join or listen to us each week, you know that Stacy is often giving these great tips like the 6 she's about to share with us right now. These are tools for your toolbox to use when appropriate. Some you'll use more than others, like a real toolbox.
Right.
My Phillips head screwdriver probably gets more use than probably all the other tools in my toolbox combined. But when I need a hammer, the Phillips head screwdriver just won't do me any good. So let's load up those toolboxes.
Yes, let's load up. First, talk to your child about growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that your intelligence and talent can be developed over time based on the hard work, effort, and practice you put in. Whereas people with a fixed mindset believe that your intelligence is fixed, so effort and practice aren't important. They believe that if you are not good at something, you'll never be good at it. Individuals with a fixed mindset say things like, I'm not good at math, I'll never get it. Whereas people with a growth mindset believe in the power of yet. So instead of saying, I'm not good at math, I'll never get it, an individual with a growth mindset says, I'm not good at math yet, but I'll keep learning and practicing. Explain to your child that mistakes help you improve because you can learn from your mistakes, but you have to have the right mindset.
Yes. Stacy, I think growth mindset should probably serve as our Phillips head screwdriver in our parenting toolboxes. One of the best ways we can teach our children to have a growth mindset is to demonstrate a growth mindset ourselves. Sometimes we try to soften the blow of our children's failure by telling them how we weren't good at something too. Like, don't worry about it, baby, I wasn't good at math either. Instead, you should try something like, you know what, baby? I've been in a position where I needed to get better at math too. I know that you're going to keep working hard and you'll get it. I'll help you. That way you're sharing your own failure, but you're still encouraging that growth mindset.
Absolutely. Now, second, another way to teach your child that failure is a good thing is to let failure happen. Give your child time for trial and error. Our first instinct as parents is to jump in and help, but whether it's tying their shoes or doing homework, see what your child can do at first on their own, then let them know that you will help. Challenging experiences is the only way that we develop coping and problem-solving skills. Explain to your child that their brain is like a muscle, and the only way that muscle grows is if you work out. Giving your brain a workout means that you are engaging in challenging and difficult tasks. The feeling that it's hard or difficult is your brain growing. Instead of asking your child what they did at school today, ask, what did you do at school today that caused your brain to grow and sweat?
Ooh-wee, that is so good. Lord Jesus, I'm being convicted today. When my kids were younger, we did homework side by side, and that gave me the opportunity to correct them as they were making mistakes. I saw this as a wonderful thing. What this did was train them to wait for me to assist them when they got stuck and didn't understand. And this drove my wife crazy. Now, what works much better is checking homework after it's completed, then going through it together afterwards. This gives them the opportunity to do what's called metacognate. And that's just a fancy word for saying thinking about what they're thinking. But to get there, they had to embrace that it was okay for them to try to figure it out on their own and figure out how to do it. And it didn't matter if they got it wrong in the process.
You know what? That's coming up on something that I'm getting ready to touch on.
Okay.
Third, parents should help their children celebrate and embrace failure, explaining that failure is an opportunity to learn. Make a habit of asking your child to share a mistake or failure they experience each day and how they learned from it. Remembering the acronym, First Attempt in Learning. Parents, share your own failure or mistake and how you learned from it. Once children see you embracing your failures, they will do the same and will be less likely to avoid challenges to prevent the possibility of failure. Further, developing a growth mindset.
See, we're back to the Phillips head screwdriver again, growth mindset. This is one that researching for this week really inspired me to do. We often ask our kids questions about their days, but don't share with them details about our own. Sharing with your children how you're handling your own failures and exhibiting a growth mindset can be all the inspiration they need to do it themselves.
That's right. Now, fourth, parents should emphasize failing forward. Learning from your mistakes and failures, allowing them to propel you into success. Share stories about influential people who failed forward in life. People like Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team.
That's crazy.
Walt Disney, right, who was fired from the Kansas City Star because his editor felt that he lacked imagination and had no good ideas.
Jeez.
Can you believe that, Walt
Wow.
Disney? Oprah Winfrey, who was fired from her first TV job as an anchor in Baltimore. I guess she got the last laugh.
Yes.
J.K. Rowling, a divorced single mother on welfare whose book Harry Potter was turned down by a lot of publishers.
That's crazy.
There are so many other individuals whose stories about failing forward are an inspiration and can be shared with your children, sending the message that success is sometimes the outcome of a whole string of failures.
Yes, and if you're in a room right now with the lights on, it's only because Thomas Edison was reportedly willing to try 9,999 different things before the 10,000th or so worked. Now, that's a lot of failures,
Oh, wow.
but sometimes that's what it takes to succeed.
That's right, failing forward.
Yes.
Fifth, parents, explain brain science of why mistakes improve learning. Children may not fear failure so much if they understood how the brain works. Explain that every error your child makes, there's an electrical signal that's firing in him to help him learn. Explain that his brain sparks and grows whenever he makes a mistake, and that failure is the stepping stone to success as long as you learn from it. Focus on the actions needed to be taken and fail fast so that you learn what not to do. Tell your child also that making guesses is one of the best ways to learn the material. Making an incorrect guess that they think is right and then being corrected makes it easier for the brain to recall the correct answer in the future. So
Yes.
Benny, when you're doing the homework with your children and you notice that, or they notice that they get something wrong after they've done it and you've gone over it with them, that's brain science.
Yes.
Finally, remind your child that the harder he has to work to understand something, the longer it lasts in his memory and the more deeply it is processed. Helping children understand the brain science behind why mistakes improve learning will help them to embrace the concept of failure and get them excited and not afraid of the prospect.
Yes. So you mean leaving my skin on the track, that didn't make me learn to pedal faster, huh?
I think some of it did.
Yeah. The brain is an incredible machine, and it continues to develop into early 20s for females and late 20s in males. As a result, making mistakes is inevitable, and convincing your children that learning from their mistakes will benefit them could be one of the best lessons that you may ever teach them.
So true. And finally, parents, in order to help your child cope with the feelings associated with failing, teach them the RAIN technique. The RAIN technique, created by Michelle McDonald, is a simple way to teach your child to recognize and accept their feelings. Model this technique with your child using one of your own failures. R stands for recognizing what is happening. What is happening in the moment? How am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? For example, I'm so mad at myself for failing my spelling test. I want to cry. I'm pretty sure you'll hear children say that all the time. Allow things to be just as it is. Even if I don't like it, I can let the thoughts or feelings just be there. For example, I am mad and I feel like crying. It's uncomfortable, but I can allow myself to feel this way. I, investigate with kindness. Why do I feel this way? Is it really true? Example, who am I mad at? Am I mad or are there other feelings? I notice that I'm also a little disappointed in myself too, not just mad. I'm wondering why. Maybe it's because I think I could have studied more.
Yeah.
N, non-identification and disassociation. I'm having a thought or emotion, but I am not that thought or emotion. For example, I can have angry and disappointed feelings without being those feelings. I am bigger than how I feel at this moment. This feeling will pass.
Yeah.
After you model the RAIN technique for your child, have your child try this process with you using a recent mistake or failure. By taking this approach, children can learn to better accept and respond to failure, as well as their feelings associated with it.
Yeah. I suppose that's the kind of rain we don't want to go away, huh?
That's right. Rain, don't go away. Well, what do you think? How do you help your child deal with failure? Does your child have a growth or fixed mindset? Do you have a growth or fixed mindset? Did you learn something new from today's episode? Comment and let us know your thoughts on today's topic.
And if you're looking for more information to help you teach your children how to handle failure, go to our website at academyofscholars.com/scholarly speaking resources. Now, in the meantime, we suggest you check out the book, The Blessing of a Skinned Knee, Raising Self-Resilient Children by Wendy Mogul. This book is great if you're a parent like me who doesn't want your children to ever skin their knees. You know, the parent who wants so badly to raise self-disciplined, appreciative, and resourceful children, but try to accomplish it by overprotecting, overindulging, and scheduling their children's lives. Now, Mogul's books provide inspiring and effective ways for parents to handle the day-to-day challenge of raising self-reliant children. And remember, no matter where you live in the world, you can give your child access to an exceptional Christian affordable education with the Academy of Scholars Premier Online Learning. Not only does the Academy of Scholars give your child the opportunity to engage in school at their own pace, but we also provide a comprehensive curriculum with classes like coding and computer science that will have your child excited about school each day. The Academy of Scholars Premier Online Learning is the online school you've been looking for.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's live session. To learn more about our amazing school, the Academy of Scholars, please go to our website at academyofscholars.com. Join us next week as we continue our live discussions. Next week, we'll be talking about teaching your child to be a self-advocate.
Yes.
Good one.
Yep.
Until next time, I am Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson.
And I'm Benny Crane Jr.
Saying
Goodbye
goodbye and be